For the better part of my career, more than 20 years, I've been a corporate girl in supply chain management and logistics or classical marketing. But come 2020, COVID and the Great Reset, I got an opportunity to work in a non-profit organization which was helping young unemployed people to be able to break out of that trap of unemployment by connecting them with their first employment opportunity, allowing them to build experience, build that reference letter, and then move on to bigger opportunities. My name is Novantu Nkulwana, and in this season of my life, my ambition is to help the emerging social entrepreneur to be able to flatten that learning curve, scale up their projects, and deliver more impact quicker than ever before. Join us on the NPO Bootcamp as we show you how to level up your social enterprise. So that is when folks, you're talking about my cousin, you know I'm from Limpopo, or my parents are from Limpopo, so we could be cousins, right? Yes. So when folks came in and she wants to be a volunteer, or any other person that wants to be a volunteer in the organization, what does that path and that process look like?
Very important question, especially for an NPO.
Yes.
Ne? The one thing that you want to do is not treat your NPO like an NPO.
Oh, okay. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, when you say non-profit organization, non-governmental organization, what does your mind conjures up? Yeah, it's like a dingy, something there. People are lackadaisical. It's a charity and everything like that. The only difference between a non-profit organization and a business is that there are no dividends. But in any, it is a business. And you need to treat it as a business from the get-go. It is a business. The only difference is you don't have private shareholders and you're not going to have dividends. So when you get volunteers, this is very important, right? You need to treat it like it's a job. You need to advertise.
For volunteers?
Yes. You need to screen. You need to interview. If your granny gave you a watch, as an inheritance, it's just a watch. Look at it, it's a watch from Okoko. And you're not aware that it's got diamonds and rubies, right? You're not going to treat it as precious. You understand? Until somebody tells you, oh, hey, Baba, this is... As soon as you understand that, what are you going to do? You're going to look for a special place for it. You're going to protect it. You're not going to wear it every day. So what you need to do, I know the value of volunteerism. You understand? I know it. Because these are young people who didn't get a chance to go to university, who don't have a job. And this is going to teach them, and it's going to give them skills that's going to help them compete in the market.
I was not there. Thank you. Now I see what you mean.
Yes. Do you see what I mean? So you need to present it as something precious, not like, you're coming to volunteer.
I'm just volunteering.
You can just waltz in and no. So that when people come in, they put value in this. Yeah.
It's important because of where it's going to take them.
I know.
Sorry, Baba. I'm very slow. I'm just catching up to him now. The dots are connecting.
Yes.
So that's why you do all these things, because it's not just a random thing. I'm positioning you to be able to take to be able to equal and rival all these other people that have been in other environments that you haven't been able to access.
Yes. Because what I tell them is when you go for an interview, you're going to be sitting next to somebody from GP's High, from Bishop's High. You're going to be sitting next to people who had a laptop from grade 0, people who had tutors, and the interviewers, they are not going to say, oh, for shame, this person is from Kingsway. We'll just give it to them. They're going to be expecting you to match these guys. So my young people, you need to come across my young people. Wipe the floor with many graduates and they have no matric.
Yeah.
You need to see my guys facilitating. You need to see them running a camp. You go to Kingsway right now, you're not going to be able to get in there. There's a checklist. They know where each and every learner is. They know what's happening. There's a schedule. The whole day yesterday, I was with them in Kingsway. They were preparing for this camp. The whole day, they were there preparing. When they're at the school and they're doing this and educators watch them, they ask me, how much are these guys getting? Because educators get shamed seeing like these guys are gonna, it's a camp right now, right? It's gonna finish at about 11 at night. They're gonna do a debriefing until 1 a.m. And the educators look at that and think these people surely must be paid
The work ethic.
a lot of money because they are outperforming us in every way. And I say, no, they're volunteering.
These are volunteers.
Yeah. These are volunteers. Now, what they've learned there is something that's going to help them to kick ass when they get to the marketplace.
Yes.
Because what they've learned is to de-link salary from work. Do you understand? So they've learned to enjoy work for its own sake. So when they work, what gives them pleasure? The achievement. And I tell them, if you've got that, there's no limit to the money you're going to make. Because wherever you're going to go, you're going to outwork everybody that you're going to meet there. You're going to wipe the floor with them. They just won't know what hit them. Where is this person coming from? And you won't be having a degree or anything like that. By the way, I encourage them to study, right? So with a number of them who've become teachers, who are studying, etc. Voluntarism. So what you do when you do that is you're putting a value in it. So the young person who's coming is like, yo, this is serious, right? I can't just, you understand? So it's exactly like a job, and you have a contract, you have KPIs.
As a volunteer?
Yes.
Okay.
Deliverables, absolutely.
Okay, tell us.
Oh yes, we've got deliverables. We call them key result areas, not key performance areas. You see the 10?
Yes.
Performance is just performance, but we're looking for results. So we call them key results areas. So these are the results that we have. They do. They have it. They know exactly what to do. And my team learns what most people learn in their MBA first, which is plurally core.
What is that?
The basic fundamentals of management. You go to the
You are
MBA,
teaching your volunteers
that's
that.
what I'm teaching them, which is, whatever you're managing, these are the things you're going to do. Plurally core. PL is planning.
Yes. Oh.
PL.
Yes.
OR
Yes.
is organizing.
Right.
LE is leading.
Yes.
CO is control.
Control. Okay. Right.
So most of their KPIs are structured that way. What am I going to plan? Right? Because it's planning, this is what I'm going to do. What do I organize? Right? We've got the 6 M's of organizing. When you can say mama, me, mama,
Yes.
those are the 6 M's of organizing.
Yes.
Man, methods, materials, all those things.
Yes.
What am I organizing? You're organizing resources. You're organizing people. Then you need to lead them.
Right.
Right? And they need to control, which
So-
is discipline.
So when does this happen, that is if I come in as a volunteer, is there an onboarding period?
Absolutely. No. When you come in, the first thing you're going to get is training.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So we train, and our training standard is 3 days.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That's like our minimum training. 3 days training where we equip you,
Right.
but you're going to implement all those things. And one of the key things that we do is to do a lot of unlearning, right? That's the key, right? It's do a lot of unlearning.
Yes.
Do a lot of unlearning. This escape cell, apartheid, blah, 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 right? It's like...
That is what do you find most of your volunteers are struggling to unlearn?
Wow. So the volunteerism process is powerful because it filters, right? So we have an open gate. We will take anyone as long as you are available. I don't have limits. I don't have 35 years limits or whatever. If you are available, come. But when we put you through these things, some decide, no, this is not for me. And they eliminate themselves.
And I was about to correct you in that as well, because you've advertised, you've interviewed. So I'm assuming not everybody gets to the interview process.
No, they don't.
But you make it to the interview, and then you come here, and then after 3 days, some people decide.
No, they do. You know, our training is the 3-day training. There's a young man who's our manager. You met Unkuli. I don't even remember him. He's managing our biggest program right now. Unkuli is managing, let me just give you the people who are with him. So he's got an assistant manager. So he's running our training department. He's got an assistant manager. He's got a design and development person. He's got the media department. He's got the master trainer department. He has 20 coordinators, right? And he's managing 500 people on the field, right?
Who are these 500 people? Is this the implementation
partner? The implementers, yeah. So the volunteers who are within the implementers, right? So I met Unkuli 2010.
Yes.
Neat.
Yes.
Actually, when I met him, he said he had just beaten up his manager.
Oh.
From the previous job. As I said, if we are available and we are teachable, that's all. Because who else is going to... for me, I'm called to those, right? So that's what Unkulu is doing right now. Now, first time we met him, we had a training, it was away. So when we do training, we do a lot of teach back. So when we train you, we don't allow you to just sit and listen.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We train you.
Yes.
And then you need to train back to us what we've taught you.
Wonderful.
That's how we do training. Our training is teach back. And that's a major, major difference wherever we've gone.
And then that shocks some people and they're like, no, this is not for me.
It does. So what he says, and I laughed, he said, it was lucky that we were away from Alex. Because what we did is we did the training and then we give them a chance to go and prepare and come.
Yes.
And so he comes and dives, say, bye-bye. That's you didn't even do anything. You need to go back and re-prepare so that you can come and facilitate. He said if there was a taxi, he would have
disappeared.
He would have disappeared. A number of them say that. Another one, Uvus, I got from Kalinen. It's coming from Kalinen. I'm always looking for young people. And I met him doing a program with Abokoko. And I saw this young person. I remember I was teaching. I was doing a program for elderly NGOs, right? So we're teaching the NGOs of Abokoko, finance. We did conflict management, and we did project planning. So that was the contract that we had, and we're dealing. So there was this young man who was volunteering in this NGO Abokoko. So when I did the finance, showed them Excel, Kalinen. He didn't know Excel anything. So when I come back to deliver, he said to me, no, Puntanda, I went to YouTube. I taught myself on how to do Excel, and he had a budget.
Listen.
So I'm always looking. So as soon as I saw that, I said, this is what I said to you. I'm coming for you, young man. I'm going to go and get money. And it was not until 2 years that I managed to get a way to bring him in. So I brought him in.
Yeah.
So he came and we worked. And years later he told me, said, yo, Buntanda is like, you threw me in the deep end. I wanted to quit. Right? And he said his girlfriend, who is his wife now, said to him, no, don't. You wanted to go back to Kalinen. His girlfriend, who's his wife now, said, no, don't quit. And you know what he said? He said, I went and brought an iPhone so that I can obligate myself and tie myself to this job. Because he said, every cell in me
wanted to quit.
Was saying, quit.
So if I don't have an obligation to get an income to pay for this phone, I'll take the easy way.
Well, he came up with that.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
mine.
it. Yeah, for me, I wasn't even aware. I mean, I wasn't aware that he was he was feeling like that. We were working. And he said, yeah, right? And today he's running one of our regions, Joburg region.
Yes.
And he's looking after, we've got gig trucks, these big trucks that heavy load. He's running that program. Right. He has a team under him, and he's opened a business for himself on the side, and he's pushing. So, So you're saying, your question was, what was the biggest thing to unlearn?
That they struggle to unlearn.
So it's paying the price. It's just saying, okay, I'm going to, like,
Can I try and rephrase it?
Yes, please do.
To push through the pain.
Yes.
Because my guess is they're hearing things that are being said to them for the first time. So I don't know if it's their ego that's...
And I remember myself, right? When I had these things for the first time, and I quit. Mike Thonga, the gentleman that I told you about, who was teaching us to sell insurance, and I was hearing these powerful things.
Yes.
And when I went out and it was difficult to implement and he told you, no, hold on, you're going to get through this, you're going to learn this, and it's going to, you understand? And I quit in Mike Thonga, right? But I mean, God was good because I had a lot of other people who came in my life and taught me these things. And it took me a long time to learn. But J.C. Maxwell has something very powerful he says. He says, you can change without growing, but you cannot grow without changing.
Okay.
And he said something very powerful. The one indicator that you are growing, there is one indicator that you are growing, and that's pain.
That's pain. Okay.
Right? A baby.
Sticking it when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's an amazing thing.
Sticking with it when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And maybe I'm scared people are laughing at me.
Yeah.
Hey, because you're making me stand in front of everybody and I must teach. Yeah. And I've never done this before. So it's a completely unsafe space. Foreign, uncharted waters. So the thing you must unlearn is don't quit so easily. Push through the pain, yeah?
Push through the pain.
Okay.
The word that comes to mind is what I learned from Rice Corp, Alon Rice. Now you know him,
Yes.
I know. Alon Rice, when they're getting entrepreneurs, right? They are in incubator.
Yes.
Amazing. They incubated us, right? I was with them for 5 years. He says they take about 100 applicants, and from 100, maybe they take 2 or so. And what they look for is the internal locus of control, right? Mm-hmm. The internal.
What does that mean?
So the internal locus of control is opposite to the external locus of control. And I must say, unfortunately, I think there's an element within our culture which, as Black people, which enhances the external locus of control. The external locus of control is things are happening in my life because of others, because of what's happening, My granny, I love my granny. She's my role model. She passed on in 2015. She would say, the reason this person is failing is because I'm lawyer. You know what I'm saying? She would not, and there was a greatness in that, that saying, that she would put up with anything from her kids, from her grandchildren, because she didn't think it was their fault. Okay. So that's the external locus of control. The problem is the government. The problem is my friends. The problem is my parents didn't hug me enough. The problem is, so everything is external. So you think that you are at the mercy of the world, but the internal locus of control is understanding that my decisions, right, the path that I'm going to chart right? I'm in a driver's seat. That's the internal locus of control. Now, in that democracy example we spoke about earlier, you see what I did there when I said people are the owners of the house, right? Because the nice thing is, what's the problem? It's the government, it's the politicians, it's this party, it's, right? That's external locus of control. So after I teach people that, I say to them, okay, I've got good news or bad news for you. Which one do you want first? Which one do you want first?
I want bad news first. Let's get it over and done with.
Good.
Yes.
So the bad news is it's your fault.
I knew you were going to do that to me. I just knew.
So that's the bad news. You are the sum total of your decisions, right? Where you are, you are the sum total of all the decisions that you've made. It's your fault, right? You got no one to blame.
Oh, what was that?
Are you ready for the good news?
Yes.
Yes. The good news is, are you ready?
Yes.
It's
yes,
your fault.
Again?
That's the good news.
Okay.
But why is it good news? Because if it's my fault, I can change it.
Okay.
I can do something about it.
Okay.
But if it's not my fault, it's because I'm being bewitched. It's because the government doesn't do this. It's because my neighbor doesn't like me. Although it feels good, I've just given away my power because I'm in their mercy, right? So for me to be fine, the witch has to decide not to bewitch me anymore. Otherwise, I'm done, right? The government has to decide that they're going to do. My neighbor has to like me. That's the hardest thing to unlearn, because it's painful. It says I need to take responsibility, right? And I need to look at the man in the mirror and accept that I'm responsible. It's my fault. That's painful, right?
Yeah.
But it's redeeming.
That is one. We haven't even gotten to the program yet. We're still talking about volunteers and getting them through the first 3 days.
There's a lot.
Okay, so let's say,
yes,
you've told me that the good news is, the bad news is my fault, the good news is my fault, but I choose to stay and go beyond the 3-day training.
Yes.
What happens after that?
You then implement the program
that you've trained me on.
That we've trained.
Okay, so each volunteer's training will depend on where you're going to slot them in the organization.
Program they're going to.
Got it. So it's specific program-related training.
Yes, but there are similar. So there are similarities, right? In the sense that I think in the OBE speak, the cross-critical fields. So the unlearning, the things that I've spoken about would apply everywhere. You understand? And then what's the program? If it's civic education, then we'll train you how to do civic education. Okay. If it's, we've got a program that we call Hillstyle, Healthy Lifestyle and Success through Academic Excellence, which is going to schools and helping them to improve their academic performance. That's what you'll do. That's what the camp in Kingsway is about.
Okay, right.
If it's substance abuse prevention, like Kimocha, then we'll train you on that, right? Yeah. We've got other programs like High on Life. If it's alternatives, which is sports and recreation, gig track, it's like more event management. But all of them would have this foundation would have this foundation of I'm the captain of my ship, right? Now, let me say this saying.
Okay.
I would come to any of my young people, would say to them, life is, they're going to say, 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react. Okay. That's what life is.
Okay.
We are not in control of what happens to us. They didn't choose your parents, they didn't choose where you are born, but that's 10%. 90% of it is you have an opportunity of how you react to it, and it's not easy, and that's it. Yes, yeah.
So I was wanting to ask, have you given us an overview of all the different programs that are running at AYD?
All right, let me do that as a list. So one of the things that I say to them is, we're not a drug NPO. So people will see you doing substance abuse. We're not an HIV, we do HIV training. we are trying to get young people to reach their full potential.
Wonderful.
And why are we doing drugs? Drugs are an obstacle to potential, right? Promiscuity is an obstacle to potential. All education, if you're not educated. So that's the idea.
Okay.
So
you have clusters of...
Yeah.
Okay.
So I say to them, if paint was proving to be an obstacle to potential, we'd have to learn about paint.
100%.
So that I just orient my team very well. We are not these things, these are means to an end.
Got it.
So we've got behavior change programs,
okay.
right? So under that behavior change programs, we have substance abuse, we have HIV and AIDS, teenage pregnancy, we have academic excellence programs, right? Those are behavior change programs. We've got alternatives. So alternatives is like more for youth.
Okay.
Because
for the needs.
Okay.
These other ones that you've just described, the behavior change, are for school-going young people.
We'll try to do behavior change on all of them, but school-going young people are organized. Okay. So it's easy to find them.
Right.
But young people who are out of school are not usually organized. So to get all of them, you really need to attract them. So we then partnered with an organization called Power Intense, who have an accredited hip-hop program.
Nice.
Yes, very nice. So we partnered with them so that we can go to young people and say, hey, we got a hip-hop program that you can learn. But when you come here, part of what you're going to learn is then either civic education, substance abuse, blah, 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 blah. So we try
we do the fun vibey stuff, but there's method in the madness.
We try to link them.
Okay.
So we have sports programs. We used to have funding to do sports. This started as a basketball program by the founder. But what we're doing now is we're partnering with federations, sporting federations. So one of the things that we do is we're evidence-based, right? We do our best to base what we're doing on science, not just on what we think. So one of the research has shown that sports alone is not helpful.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're doing a sporting program, you need to couple it with life skills.
Fascinating. I did not know that.
It explains about Chabupule and all the things that we found out, right? The brilliant young. So if you're just doing a sporting program alone, and actually pretty funny enough, especially in basketball cycles, is you'd find that a lot of marijuana
in South Africa
is passing around. Yeah. Because you know what it is. Basketball, you're
a baller.
You aping the people overseas, etc. So we partner with sporting federations to say to them, you are doing that, we'll bring the life skills.
Okay.
So that the combination is going to, So those are the alternatives. So alternatives, we've got poetry, music, what else is there? Oh, and our young people, our people are so talented. It's crazy, right? Poetry, music, dance. So we've got that, right? And then we have leadership, a leadership program. That one is accredited. And then we've got customer service. That's another thing that's accredited with ITSITA. Yeah. Okay. Introduction to customer service and advanced. So if you look at this, we're just trying to say, okay, what can we put together to help young people reach their full potential? That's our goal. That's our North Star. Right. But what we've done now, which is very exciting, is one of the major problems, because we're talking to NPOs, is you get funding, you work with young people, the funding ends, right? And you have to leave them, right? So we try our best to say when we leave them, they can make their way through the world. They can get a job, they can, etc. But I just had this wish that we left them with something a bit more substantive. And I got a chance to do that this time, right? So I had about 100 young people, educator assistants, Those young people placed in schools, PYEs, and they are helping educators. 100 of them, they're getting stipend from the government. So I spoke with their managers to say, give me these young people, let me teach them what we do, because they are earning a stipend anyway. So we taught them on the healthy lifestyle through academic excellence, because they're in schools, to say, help your schools do better. Help your schools to pass.
Okay.
Right?
So how did it work in that? Because this is somebody that's employed to go to a school Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
So then when do you get to teach them the AYDF?
Very good. So those young people, because that's what it's a Ramaphosa program, right?
Yes.
The Presidential Youth Employment Initiative.
Yes.
They go to school, so they're at the mercy of the principal. Okay. There's not necessarily a program for them. So school, if you've got a good principal, that principal is going to structure, right?
Okay.
Some just end up making copies, doing this, you understand? So it was a gold mine for me to find young people who are available and who are being paid a stipend. So once we were given a permission to work with them, then they were giving us, they were going to do our program. So we get the buy-in from the principal who say, we're going to teach these young people to help your school to do better.
Nice.
So everybody loves that, right?
Yes.
Now, when I met with them, I said to them, okay, guys, my goal is learn this skill, because I want us, when we're done, we had a year with them. When we're done with a year, I want you to have skills that you can go to the market with and sell.
100%, because it's a fixed term contract that they have.
Yeah. So we did that. I said, we're going to form a business for you when you are done. We're going to help you form a business so that your business now goes to schools and say, we've got skills, we can help you pass, we can help you improve your results. And then the schools have to pay you for that, right? 100 of them.
Right.
So what I did is I then got a second stipend. I got a second program. And I said to them, okay, guys, I've got for you now. They were earning, for stipend, it was good. Like, if you have a degree, you're earning 7,000 rands. Stipends go, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, because it's a minimum wage, right?
About 4,000 rands, etc. So I got them a stipend, which was going to be 2,400 rands per month. And we had about 4 months. So I said to them, we're going to do this program. But as I'm bringing this program, remember I said I wanted to start a business. Yes. So I wanted to save this stipend as a capital investment.
Yes. Don't eat the money.
Let's not eat this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to pay you, and then you're going to pay it back. And when you pay it back, it's an investment into your business.
Right.
100 of them. Okay, by the time we started that, there were 73 of them left.
Oh, down from 100.
Yeah. Our others got jobs, others were dismissed because they were not working, etc., etc. So by the time we got into this, 73. And we did it. We had about 4 months. So very nice test. Can you see that? First of all, others down tools on me. No, we want this money. We've worked. So I went to talk to them. And I said to them, when people down tools, they do that because they've got leverage over the employer, right? They can withhold their
services,
labor, and the employer is not going to be able to deliver to the clients. I said to them, unfortunately, you don't have leverage. Right? I said, unfortunately, you don't have anything. I don't owe you anything. I can pick up and leave. Like, you're not keeping anything from me. Right? You're unfortunately right now a beneficiary of benevolence. I am here and I'm helping you, and you're just not aware. And
young people did not read the room properly.
So there's this entitlement. Yeah, that's another problem. We beat entitlement out of people, right? Not physically, mentally. It goes out. So I said to them, I can leave you just now. My passion is to help young black people reach their full potential. Not specifically you. Any young black person, if you're not recipient to what I'm giving you, we can go. So they were good. They said, okay, we understand. They came in.
We understand. We're back at the party.
Yeah. We're back at the party.
Okay.
First month, they have to invest now. Excitement happened. We had 5 who didn't return the money. We had another 5 who said, no, we had this and that and that and that. The 5 who didn't return the money, they go to people, they say, AYDF is exploiting us. We've done work. They pay us and they want us to bring the money back. So it's exploitation. And anybody who has that, obviously they are...
red flags.
Yeah. So I went and I explained. I said, no, this is an agreement that we've had.
And it's in writing?
No, I didn't make it in writing.
Okay.
The reason I didn't make it in writing is we only had 4 months.
Right.
And we had to deliver. So I didn't have time to do paperwork. And I told them that. I said to them, guys, I don't have time to do paperwork. We'll do paperwork because we only have a chance. We do this, we build the business, or I pull aside and I try to do paperwork. So we have to operate on the basis of trust. Mm-hmm. Now, fortuitously, that actually proved to be very good because it then was an issue of trust. So the 5 people, when I went, they're in a school, right? I was going to suspend them to say, guys, we have a deal. You didn't bring back the money. Oh, by the way, the 2,400, we only got 60 positions. I only got stipend for 60 people, but there were 73.
Right.
So what we agreed is all 73 are going to work,
right?
But the 60 are going to be getting money on behalf of the whole 73. That's why you need
So we are putting it into a collective account?
Account, yeah.
Oh, it's one account?
It's an investment, yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So I'm saying to them, when you take this money, you're stealing from these other guys. They apologize. They say they're going to continue. Second month, they don't pay 5. And the contract was ending. So I disciplined them and I fired them.
The 5?
Yeah. And they go to Department of Labor.
Great.
And the Department of Labor comes and they audit us. Are you not doing slavery, etc., etc.? I tell them the problem. They're excited. I say to them, this program is ending now in December. What's going to happen to them in January? Yes. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have them have something. So I speak to them. They say, no, we don't care about that. So I'm saying to them, so you've got young people here who are breaking an agreement with 73 people who are stealing, and you think it's good that you teach them to look for loopholes in that situation. And what do you think is going to happen to them if they go into life with that type of mentality?
And here's the thing, Dadazana, this is not confined to these 73 young people that you're working with. If you think of anybody that's on a learnership,
yes,
a learnership is a fixed-term contract for 12 months. Yeah. After that, there's no guarantee that you'll be absorbed.
Yes.
And even those that will be absorbed is maybe 5% of it.
Yes.
The rest of you got nothing. If you don't be smart with that money that you get for the 12 months, you're starting again from zero.
You end up with professional learnershippers, moving from learnership to learnership to learnership. That's what's happening.
Unfortunately, this is happening in corporates where people, they're just too busy with other things. You're taking the time to think, guys, how can we get you out of this sustainably?
That's what's happening. Now,
oh my goodness, okay.
Let me tell you the story there. They take us to the CCMA.
Right.
So I go to the CCMA. There's a law which was passed in 2019, Section 73A. I didn't know about it. Which says if an employer owes money, remember at CCMA you first start with conciliation and then you do arbitration later. You can object and say, we'll do conciliation, we'll do arbitration later. That law said if somebody says an employer is owing you money, there's no postponement. If conciliation doesn't work, you have to arbitrate. So I didn't know that, so I go there not prepared. And after conciliation, I tell the arbitrator...
But this is even coming from your shop steward background. Okay, it's because this was the day touch. Okay, got it.
It's amazing. Even when the Department of Labor came in, there were many things that have been put in. And unfortunately, they sound like they're helping people, but
I don't know.
They're not. Now, so we're not prepared, right? So I settle with them, these 5. Because I'm not prepared. I don't have witnesses. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Right? So I settle.
And settlement means you must pay them all that money.
I pay them the money.
Right.
I pay them the money that they didn't work for, that other people have not gotten.
Right.
Right. So I say to the arbitrator, this is not a lot of money. I think all in all, it was about 35,000. Right? My concern is what's happening to the minds of these kids.
Absolutely.
No problem, I settle. Guess what happens? When we settle, they take the settlement and they show the other guys, look at what we've done. We've gotten money, and the other guys are leaving now. We don't have money, we don't have whatever. I call them to the meeting to come. They come, I explain, I say, look, you don't feel guilty if somebody points a gun in your head and takes your car. That's what these kids did.
So these the remaining
The investors.
they called you and they're like,
a few.
why is it that?
A few, yeah. And then I called all of them to explain, to say, this is what happened. And it happens if you're starting a business. Right? So these girls have robbed. I feel sorry for them because what they've done has not left their life. It's going into their future. It's multiplying. It's waiting for them. So we're going to leave them. We're not going to, right? That's what happened. 7 others take us to the CCMA.
Again. Okay.
So I'm waiting for the finding. But this time I was prepared.
Right.
So we explained, so I'm sure we're winning the case.
Right.
So from the 100, we're left with 21.
Okay.
The business is registered.
Right.
It's called Healthy Lifestyle and Success Through Academic Excellence, the program.
Which lifestyle?
Healthy
Lifestyle
and Success Through Academic Excellence. They are shareholders. In 2023, the schools that they were in improved their results. Nice. One school, Idinoto, 2021, just to give you an idea, got 21%, 42% matric results. 2022, they got 55%. With our guys, they moved from 55% to 71.5%. Yes. So these are the needs.
Right. So this is the same bunch of young people that you formed this business with. They've already been working in these.
Remember when I was working with them when they were being paid by the government, that's what we were teaching them.
So they went and they implemented, they already teacher assistants.
Yes.
And then you got permission for them to come and do the AYDF program.
Yes.
They did that and they go and implement in the schools that they already placed in.
Yes. And the schools passed.
Right. Better.
Better.
Right.
Like from 55% to 71%. Now remember, these are needs. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. I'm with you.
Transformative leaders. Yes. These are needs who are able to do what the district is not able to do, what the circuits has not been able to do, what the teachers have not been able to do in that school. These are young people that are coming from townships.
Right. Right.
Who have matric.
Right.
And they've moved and turned the school around.
Nice.
Right?
I like that so much.
So now obviously they are working within the system. Now they've registered the business.
Yes.
We have 21.
Yes.
Because they've seen results, schools are calling.
Sorry, Healthy Lifestyle and the name?
And Success.
So now the schools are calling this business.
They are calling the business.
To say, come and do what for us?
Come and help us pass.
And we're going to get paid?
Yeah.
Yes, please. It's in the invoice, Baba.
So this
How much are we charging?
Well, we've started. No, I don't want to say the price because we're going to go up.
Oh.
So we have an entry price.
Right.
So what we're looking at is this. Here's what I told them. A competence that meets an acute need can fail.
Yeah.
Education is an acute need in South Africa. You will make money, I told them. If you show results, because the results are clear here. You go to a school, it's failed, it's now passing. There's no, it's black and white.
Yes.
So if they produce results, I told them they're going to be inundated. So that camp in Kingsway, it's them. It's their first business camp. So they've gone, they've talked to parents. Parents are paying.
So we're making money.
And it's their first year. They've started. So we're going.
So the business is turning revenue now.
Yes, and they're going to be hiring. I think in the next 2 months or so.
The 21.
And that's my dream. Yeah, I told them, we are shareholders. You're going to be hiring other young people.
And the business model is sustainable, and that is one.
Yeah. It's very sustainable.
Okay.
It is. Hey, South Africa was number last in 2017 in the PISA results, number last in the world in terms of educational
What is the PISA
outcomes. I don't know what does it stand for, but that's where they check your maths, your whatever, right? Yeah. Number last. Number one was Singapore. Now, the need is acute. You understand? And there's a lot of money trying to solve that need. And these kids have come and they've shown results just like that. So they're going to show results.
They will.
They're going to make money.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that business one day doing an IPO.
Listen.
That's going to be very nice.
Yeah, but it's so nice. You know, Dennis, we were supposed to have finished on volunteers, but we're still on the volunteers. So and you're teasing us with all this other stuff that's happening in the organization. So what I would like to do is help us understand. You've thrown huge numbers about some of the coordinators or whatever.
Yes.
So help us understand the organization, how it's led, how it's structured.
Okay.
And then we can go into more detail on the programs.
All right.
Right?
Yeah. So obviously we raise funds. So when you get funds, we get stuff, right? We have a program which we've been doing since 2012. So that's our mainstay, and we're building around that. And we've been enabled by this, by Gauteng Department of Social Development, and we've got some of the ladies who are really in our corner, Sistibelo Mkonto, government official, Ubongiswa, I can count many of them who've been with us through this chain. So let me talk about this one program, which is our flagship, the one is DSD funds NGOs who are substance abuse NGOs. So they are in Tembisa, everywhere. They get funding. They do everything around substance abuse. So they would do rehabilitation. They would do all sorts of things. We help them with the prevention part, all right? So there were no good results on the prevention. That's how we came in. So they've given us 26 NGOs in Gauteng. Some are Sanka, some are independent NGOs dealing with substance abuse. Those 26 NGOs have 47 offices in Gauteng in all 5 regions. Are you with me? So they have signed with the department. The department is giving them funding. We are coming in to help with the prevention part, right? Now, they have managers who are looking at prevention. They've got coordinators. So where we start is one of our recommendation was you need to have volunteers focused on this. So we now have 500 young people, which we call Kimocha coaches, who are placed in these 47, right? So one office may have 10, 20, another 4, another 7, but all in all is 500.
So is this a volunteer or is this salaried?
They have a stipend.
Okay.
So they are volunteers, they have a stipend. They have a stipend. Okay. And I was usually loose with the stipend until they said to me, no, don't be so loose with our...
What do you mean loose?
I would say how much it is.
Okay.
But I mean, they are so powerful,
right?
That the people who see them in their power, when they hear that they're just getting, the material.
Okay, no problem.
So, but they're getting very, very, very minimal stipend, 500. And then they are managed by 57 coordinators. So that's in the field. And then in our office, we've got 20 area coordinators who are responsible for an area. So they'll be responsible for maybe 3-4 NPOs.
Right.
Their job is to manage that. They visit that NPO twice a month. 1, to check the stats that it's credible. That's a monitoring evaluation. 2, to coach them and train them on the ground, on the field.
Wonderful.
Bottlenecks. That's the 20. And then that 20 then is managed by the training and development department, which is run by Unkuli, that I told you about, right? So, and then there's a staff within that. So that is the structure.
Okay.
And then we've got another program, which is the outreach program, where we've got about 6 trucks. 3 small trucks that can hail and do sound. 3 big trucks, which yes. So you can do a lot with that. And then we've got the other 3 big trucks which can address up to 5,000 people with a sound, etc., etc. So within that program, we've got about 30 people. We've got MCs, we've got facilitators, you've got technicians, we've got drivers, etc.
What is this team called?
Outreach.
Okay.
It's the outreach team, right? And then we have the Umkhaburo the Democracy.
Yes.
Team.
The one that shook me in the
beginning. Who was small, yeah. It's run by Lebogang, We've got six implementers on the ground. She's the manager, and she's got maybe about 2 other people, right? We have now a media department, which is doing podcasting and stuff. We have 3 powerful young people there who are helping us tell our story. Let me see if there's something that I'm leaving on. Oh yeah, then we have the monitoring and evaluation department, which does the M&E. And then we have the normal office staff. We have HR, we have finance, and yeah.
What about all the programs that run through the Department of Basic Education through the mechanism of the school?
Yeah.
Is that a separate channel, or it depends on where it fits in here?
That's very good. So, yes, that's GCRA. We're working with Gauteng City Region Academy. That's a program. And we're doing for them career guidance, right? And that is how I got in touch with these educator assistants. Yeah. So we have a number of ad hoc programs that come and go, that are long term, etc., etc. So the ones that I've said are more or less the structure, our structure that we are. But as we get more, like we've applied for UIF, we've applied for Lotto, we've applied. So we've got lots of pipelines that we're waiting for. So the healthy lifestyle through academic excellence has been in my heart for a long time, because in my view, it's the one program. I mean, look here. If school works well and it defeats drugs, HIV, all those things, so let's just focus on making schools work well, and we deal with all those things. But I've been struggling to find funding for that, you know. So I've been getting Peter, Paul, just putting something together, which maybe was good, because that's why we've now, the business that the young people have formed is exactly on that.
Wonderful.
Are you with me?
So this is separate to the non-profit organization. This is its own independent.
This is but we own a percentage.
We are shareholders and investors now.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Okay, that is it. I think let's park here, take a short break, and then come back and go into more detail on the programs. Because the people that are listening thinking, you talked about dance, about poetry, about these tracks that go out.
Yeah.
If I want to be part of this, how do I, and how does it work, and what is the application process or the eligibility criteria?
All right.
We can go into that.
Okay.
Thank you, Ndate Zwane.
Thank you. Thank you.